Wondering which class dominates in Path of Exile 2? With 6 classes to pick from and 6 more on the way, you need to choose wisely. Pick the wrong one, and you might end up sobbing into your loot stash. Stick around as we rank the classes from strongest to weakest so you can conquer Rayclast without rage quitting. Let's jump in. Path of Exile 2 offers 6 starting classes, and while none of them are outright bad, some definitely stand out more than others. At the very top, we have the Mercenary, the most versatile and powerful class in the game. Armed with a crossbow and elemental attacks, the Mercenary excels at mid-range combat and can handle most situations with ease. The only downside is the need to reload frequently and a lack of agility compared to other ranged classes, but these small flaws are easily outweighed by its overall strength and survivability. Next up is the Sorceress, the ultimate ranged spellcaster. This class specializes in devastating elemental attacks like firestorms and lightning bolts, clearing enemies with sheer magical power. However, she's fragile and heavily reliant on mana, so keeping your distance is key. Despite these weaknesses, the Sorceress's high damage output makes her a top-tier choice for players who enjoy obliterating enemies from afar. The Monk rounds out the S tier, offering a unique playstyle focused on speed, precision, and melee combat. With fast movement and abilities that stun or apply status effects, the Monk is incredibly effective when used correctly. However, it's a high-skill class that requires careful timing and positioning, especially during boss fights. While challenging to master, the Monk rewards players who can execute its fast-paced gameplay. In the A tier, we have the Ranger, a ranged specialist who excels in precision and elemental arrows. The Ranger is ideal for keeping enemies at a distance, and her abilities are particularly effective against bosses. However, she lacks durability and struggles in fights with large groups, as her AoE options are limited. For players who value precision and strategy, the Ranger is a solid and reliable choice. The Witch takes the B-tier spot as a summoner class that relies on minions to handle combat. She can summon skeletons and reanimate corpses to fight for her while using curses and spells from a distance. While effective in the right situations, the Witch's minions can be unpredictable and sometimes lack the power needed to handle tougher enemies. It's a fun and strategic class, but can feel inconsistent at times. Finally, in the C tier, we have the Warrior. This tanky class focuses on survivability and melee combat, with high health and the ability to stun enemies. However, the Warrior struggles in a game that favors mobility and ranged attacks, often finding himself overwhelmed in combat. While reliable for soaking up damage, the Warrior lacks the firepower and versatility to compete with the other classes. Looking ahead, Path of Exile 2 is set to introduce 6 new classes in its full release. The Druid, a shapeshifter with both ranged and melee abilities. The Duelist, a fast and evasive sword fighter. The Huntress, a spear-wielding mobility expert. The Marauder, a powerful melee barbarian. The Shadow, rogue assassin with high damage strikes. And the Templar, a holy warrior who combines melee and spellcasting. And that's our Path of Exile 2-tier list. Which one will you choose? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more Path of Exile content.